Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. It's that time of the year again. Watches and wonders. Brands are releasing new models. Now today I'm going to specifically talk about the new Rolex releases, and I'm pleasantly surprised. But stick around because the rest of the week I'll be covering Tudor, not only Tudor, Patek had some great releases, Grand Seiko, IWC. I'll be covering a whole lot more, but today is about Rolex. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Breguet Marine previous generation. Everybody knows I love this watch, and I still am. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. Bunch of new watches in stock, including an Omega Green Seamaster, still hard to get, but guess what? Still the best price in the country at Del Rey Watch. A Grand Seiko White Birch with that awesome evolution movement. Also the cheapest one in the country. And a very rare, very rarely seen Height H0 in red. The liquid-powered high horology watch. All that and more at delraywatch.com. The best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. So yeah, guys, I'll start by saying I'm kind of known as a little bit of a Rolex hater, even though I don't think I am. I just try and hold them to the standard of the king of the watch industry where they have perpetually failed. Yes, that was a pun. Usually Rolex releases are boring, nothing interesting comes out, and I can't remember the last time they had a great release in years. I think the last one was the Sky Dweller. But this year, I was very pleasantly surprised. Rolex has done a lot of new things, especially if we consider, if we gauge them by their previous releases, which have been basically nothing new at all. And I want to talk about them today. So we're going to start by saying the Milgauss has now officially been discontinued. It's no longer on their website. That's a shame because it's by far my favorite model line. However, a lot of experts, and I agree, are saying it's not going to be discontinued for long. It's just no longer for sale. They're going to update it in the next year or two, and it'll be re-released. It'd be crazy not to, but the one right now, no longer available for sale. But let's get into the new stuff, and I'm going to run through this fairly quickly, and maybe I'll make some more opinion videos when we have more information. But the Rolex Cellini has officially also been discontinued. Never sold well, but it's been replaced with the new Rolex Perpetual collection. 39mm dress watch, beautiful, in gold with their new movement. With an open case back. Now, this is something Rolex fans have been crying out for years. Show us those movements. I've always been saying, don't show the movements because they're hideous, but in this collection, they've decorated the movement beautifully with a gold rotor. It's actually something quite nice to look at. And I actually like the new 39mm case. It's thinner. I love the new observatory hand. This is a very, very handsome dress watch. Rolex seems to be trying to play in the high horology arena, like against Vacheron and Patek with the Calatrava. I think this new Rolex Perpetual is a very handsome watch and has some attractive features. Next, Rolex released some new dial colors in the Sky Dweller. Now, this is a typical Rolex release, a whole bunch of nothing. You can get mint and another dial color in the Sky Dweller. Okay, no big deal, not revolutionary at all, but for you Sky Dweller fans, you have more options. Now, the one I dislike the most, Rolex has gone and made the Explorer 40mm. They discontinued to 39, so now it's available in 36 and 40, which makes a lot of sense because it's kind of like their Datejust, 36 and 40. I'm sure it's also a nice way for them to streamline their production and save a few dollars. I'm disappointed because I thought the 39mm Datejust was the perfect size. A lot of people thought it was too big, so they made the 36, and I get it. The 36 is a classic. But in 40, it's definitely too big. Just like I don't like the 40mm Datejusts, I'm not going to like the 40mm Explorer. I thought 39 was perfect, but hey, you can't win them all. So welcome to the new 40mm Explorer. Then we've had a very minor Daytona redesign because it is the new year. It is the anniversary of the Daytona. So the case has been slightly redesigned with the bezel being sunken in with a lip and some dial printing being changed. I find it pretty attractive, but the newest thing here is the new movement with fewer components, simpler to service, which is never a bad thing. And overall, I think they finally did something big to the Daytona. It got a new movement. It's the first big change since the ceramic bezel. I like the new redesign. And on the Platinum one, they've also put an open case back. Now, this is gorgeous. I think the Daytona needs it. And I don't know if they're going to do it on the steel, but usually Rolex experiments with their precious metals first. It usually goes from platinum, then to gold, then to steel. So if Rolex keeps following this trend, we might have some open case back Daytonas in the next 5 years. I think that would be a massive win. And once again, on this movement, on the open case back, they've redesigned it and it looks beautiful. Gold rotor, more decoration. Finally seeing Rolex make, their movements have always functionally been great, but they've always been ugly to look at. Rolex is finally doing what they should have been doing for years and making their movements look good. Even though you couldn't see them before, it's about the details in luxury, and this certainly does have the details. Then we have a new GMT Master 2 in gold on a Jubilee. Not a revolution here either, just a new material, but I think it's gorgeous looking. I love the Jubilee in gold. This one is a no-brainer. It's a win. Once again, not particularly innovative, but it is what it is. I still think it's a nice addition. Now we have the Rolex YachtMaster 42 in titanium. Now this is another big one along with the Perpetual and the Daytona movements with the open case backs. This 42mm YachtMaster, which looks like a sub, is made in titanium. Rolex has finally taken some of the knowledge they've gotten from Tudor with their Pelagos and have made a sports watch in titanium. I love this. It's about time. It's another thing fans have been asking for. I think it's a little weird that it's in the YachtMaster because the YachtMaster has always been the gentleman's sub, platinum bezel, lower water resistance, slightly thinner case. So I would have expected this to be in like a Sea Dweller. I think that makes more sense. I like the YachtMaster being the gentleman's submariner, and titanium is more of a tool material. But hey, I'm not going to complain too much. I'll take what I can get. I'm very, very, very excited to see this one in real life. It's probably not going to be for me, but I'm going to give Rolex credit where credit's due. This was a great release. And then last but not least, apart from a few more dial variations and like day dates, they made the Rolex OP bubbles. Every color of the previous OP made in a bubble dial. This is going to be the hardest watch to get. I think it's gorgeous. Nothing special movement-wise, nothing's changed. This is a special dial, which I very much like, and I'm sure is going to be trading for multiples above retail. I just hope I get to see one at one point. This one is pretty cool. But to recap, Cellini's gone, new Perpetual line, that's pretty cool. Rolex redesigned the Explorer to 40, that's a fail, in my opinion. The Daytona redesign with the movement, awesome. The YachtMaster 42 in titanium, awesome. And a few minor updates like a GMT2 on Gold Jubilee, Sky Dweller dial variations, and a few other dial variations. I think Rolex has to be commended for this release. Maybe it's because the standard was set so low previous to where they would just put the crown on the other side of the case, like last year. Boy, who can forget that? But this year they really did do some R&D and some hard work. And you know what? 2 thumbs up from Rolex. I think if we can have a Watches and Wonders like this, not every year, but every couple of years, get off your lazy asses and use that money you guys have to innovate, which you haven't done in I don't know how many decades. And I know I sound negative, but honestly, Rolex, 2 thumbs up. Keep it going. This year, it's been awesome. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And I will be back with the Tudor releases very soon. Take care, and thank you.